One of my greatest fears as I get older is to have a family member patiently tell me that we've already had the same conversation earlier in the day, but for me to have no recollection of it, for my brain to not function correctly. And thinking about that highlights how brilliant and complex the mind is, but also how fragile it is, and that we want to do everything we can to protect this incredibly valuable asset. In this video, I'll show you an incredibly popular supplement that you're probably already taking, which has great evidence showing that it improves brain performance and helps to protect against cognitive decline. Why this supplement, despite its popularity, is incredibly controversial, particularly since a new study came out that's going viral, and what to watch out for when choosing the supplement. So how do we know that the supplement improves brain performance? Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence after all. Well, a massive study called the Cosmos study was done, and as part of that, 3 ancillary studies were done that each looked at measures of cognitive performance. They were the Cosmos Mind, Cosmos Web, and Cosmos Clinic studies, and the data from those 3 studies were then combined into a meta-analysis of over 5,000 people. Now, when looking at this analysis, we have to dive into the details because that feeds into the controversy that I'll cover later in the video. All 3 studies were randomized, placebo-controlled studies. This means that one group took the supplement while the other group took a placebo or a dummy medication. They were also double-blind studies. This means that the people in the study, they didn't know whether they were taking the real supplement or the placebo, and neither did the scientists conducting the study. It was only after all of the data was collected that the data is then unblinded, and then we can see who was in which group. By conducting the studies in this way, it minimizes the risk of potential bias. 2 of the 3 studies measured global cognition and involved a total of 2,731 participants. Looking at the image here, a shift to the right indicates a benefit, and we don't want the results to cross the center line, because if it does, that means that the results aren't statistically significant, and we can't rely on the outcome. The great news is that when we combine both studies together, the effect has fully shifted to the right, and it has a statistical significance of 0.0009, which is highly statistically significant. It's the same for episodic memory. When all 3 studies are combined, involving over 5,000 participants, the effect has fully shifted to the right with a p-value of 0.0007, indicating a true benefit. Another really important point is that the overall effect was not heterogeneous across the studies. This means that all of the studies are showing roughly the same result, so you can see that all of them have shifted to the right, and this gives us further confidence that we're seeing a true, reproducible result. But how big is the effect? And what I mean is how much benefit will the supplement provide to our brain performance? Well, the difference between the group who took the placebo versus the group who took the supplement was roughly the equivalent of 2 years less cognitive aging, and given that the studies only ran for 2 to 3 years, that's pretty significant. But here's where the first of 2 controversies begins. The supplement I'm referring to here in this video is a multivitamin and mineral supplement, but before the 3 Cosmos ancillary studies, there was another long-term study that looked at cognition and whether a multivitamin could improve brain performance. That study was called the Physicians' Health Study 2. It was also a randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled trial, and it involved just under 6,000 male physicians. But in contrast to the Cosmos studies, the physicians' trial found no difference between the cognition of the placebo and the multivitamin groups. So what's going on? Why does the physician study show no benefit, but the Cosmos studies do? How do we square this circle? Well, there are 3 main differences between the 2 studies, with the third being likely the most important. The first difference was that the Cosmos study included both males and females, whereas the physician study only included older males. Second is that the physician study started the cognitive testing on average 2.5 years after the study started. As a result, the cognitive benefits associated with multivitamin and minerals over the first 2 to 3 years of follow-up that was seen in the Cosmos studies, it may have been missed in the physician study. And the third difference may be explained by the subtle differences between the supplement formulas, particularly with the addition of lutein and lycopene for the Cosmos studies. Now remember about lutein and lycopene because that's important for later in the video when I discuss how to select a multivitamin and mineral supplement. The second controversy brings me onto a recent study that's gone viral. Now, a bit of background before we discuss this new study so we know how to interpret it correctly. We've had study after study showing that multivitamin supplements do not reduce the risk of cancer, cardiovascular disease, or death rates. For example, This 2011 study of over 180,000 participants showed no effect. The US Preventative Services Task Force in 2022 found the same thing. There was insufficient evidence for the use of multivitamins in the prevention of cardiovascular disease or cancer. The Cosmos studies that we've gone through also found no effect for cancer, cardiovascular disease, or death rates, which brings us onto this new multivitamin study that involved just under 400,000 participants. That study, you guessed it, also showed no benefits for cardiovascular disease, cancer, or death rates. So the new study, it reinforces what was already strongly suspected. Now, I've seen other channels and news outlets use the study to say that multivitamin and mineral supplements are useless, but I think that's disingenuous and it ignores the cognitive benefits seen in the Cosmos trials, and it's because of the Cosmos results on brain performance that I take a multivitamin and mineral supplement. But that leads us on to the next question: how do we select a multivitamin and mineral supplement? The main point I want to get across to you is a warning about megadosing, which subscribers of this channel will know all about. A supplement should supplement a healthy diet and help us reach the recommended daily intakes of micronutrients. But instead, many multivitamin and mineral supplements have orders of magnitude greater doses than the recommended daily intakes. Not good. The good news is that the multivitamin and mineral supplement used in the Cosmos study, it is appropriately dosed, and it's called Centrum Silver, and I was extremely close to taking that supplement, but for me, there was a problem. As the 2022 analysis by the US Preventative Services Task Force concluded, with moderate certainty evidence that the harms of beta-carotene supplementation outweigh the benefits, and beta-carotene is converted by the body into vitamin A. They also recommended against using vitamin E supplements because of evidence suggesting that beta-carotene and vitamin E may increase death rates, and so may higher doses of vitamin A. It's easy to get the recommended daily intakes of vitamin A and E from a healthy diet, so I didn't want to take a supplement that included those vitamins. I also wanted to take a supplement that included vitamin K2, had the magnesium in the form of magnesium taurate, included trimethylglycine or TMG for its proposed cognitive and exercise effects, and hyaluronic acid for its skin health. That's why I designed microvitamin, but please, just because I take a supplement does not in any way mean that you should as well. Now, we're already on microvitamin formula version 5, and based on the Cosmos studies, I think I'm going to make a change for formula version 6. Remember, one of the main differences between the physician study which failed and the Cosmos study which did show a cognitive benefit is that the supplement in the Cosmos study included lutein and lycopene. That provides a compelling case to include those ingredients in microvitamin, and as new research like this comes out, I'll be sure to update the microvitamin formula. As for why I wanted to include magnesium in the form of magnesium taurate, make sure to check out this next video here, which goes into detail about magnesium supplementation, and a massive thank you to all of the patrons supporting the channel.